All right, what up, everyone? We're back with another episode, and look who it is. Just crawled out of a hole to show his face again. Da da da
Guys,
da.
listen. I just had a stomach ache, and I wasn't feeling well, that kind of thing. It had nothing to do with football, but this is the badge. I'm
So,
always here, just my guy. What's up?
you sound like Paul Pogba. Just on the sidelines for God knows how long. Oh, you back again? So,
No, bro. I miss you all, guys, but I'm back, and I'll always be here for you.
all right, good to know. We
Mhm.
definitely need somewhat of your great mind
Oh,
for every
definitely.
episode. Yeah.
And as I said at the beginning of the season, we are winning the league. I'm just saying, you had it here first. Yeah,
Slight bumps in the road, but still
of
on track.
course.
Yeah.
As every great team, we were just missing some players. But anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about Manchester United. Just
Okay.
tell me about you.
Uh,
Ange, what is
okay.
it?
Yep. So I think I had a nice message or video, I would say, sent by his truly. So and yeah, I have to say that I was pretty happy with the what we saw this past North London derby. So obviously,
Mhm.
it was Spurs away at the Emirates. So ended in a 2-2 draw. I have to say the fact that since Arsenal was title contenders last year, and obviously they bolstered their forces more heavily than some other squads, especially with Rice, Havertz, etc. So I think that everything in consideration, I think we gave them more of a fight than people thought. I've heard people say that we're going to get slaughtered. This is going to be a true test, and they're going to crumble, etc. So I wouldn't go as far as say quote unquote celebrating a draw, but it's more positive for us to get a draw than I think them. So
Yeah,
I'm happy with that.
Arsenal is rubbish. I'm gonna be honest with you. As somebody, we played at Emirates last time, and you remember just that game was very controversial because it was 1-1 until I think the last minute, and then there was this controversy. Okay, yeah, okay. Declan Rice hit the ball. Of course, Maguire had to do an on goal, but the 3-1 scoreline didn't do justice because Manchester United dominated at Emirates in terms of possession. And it was the first game for Hoyland and all. So, you guys, what you did, I knew you, like, funny enough, I actually knew Tottenham was going to run the show at Emirates because I'd seen Arsenal at Emirates. And if you remember the first game they played against Nottingham Forest, and they had to scrape a win, if I'm not mistaken. And so they haven't been really that convincing. But you guys, actually, I'm surprised because the same fixture last season, you lost 3-1. So that's massive improvement. So I'm saying, Ange, I'm not yet. Here's my thing. I don't think I'm sold yet about us Tottenham having changed the trajectory because here's the statistic. I got statistics, man. Last season, after game number six, Tottenham had played 6 games, won four, and drew two, and I think it lost zero. You have the same number of points as last season right now. Right now. Which means after this game, that's when you played the North London Derby and then you lost it and et cetera, et cetera. So the point is, I want to see where you will be, guys, after
Yeah.
game number 15, probably. Because many a times you always start off the block very, very fast and then someone, because I'm thinking, because I'm dreading if Madison gets an injury or Son, what do we do? Who's going to run the midfield? Of course, Bisuma, you got him, but is he a creative one like Madison? I don't know. But you did a good game. I honestly, good game. You're way better than Arsenal. Arsenal, they have a lot of questions to ask themselves, especially that midfield. And Declan Rice already getting some injuries, and Bukayo Saka getting some injuries. They might actually go down, you know?
So I just want to say, first of all, obviously, thanks for at least acknowledging that or seeing that. Obviously, I think being a rival fan or just any other fan that's like not supporting a club, it's harder to kind of admit another team is playing well or not playing well, especially when you have no stake in it. To like, you don't want to praise other teams. You want your team to be the one playing the most
Yeah.
exciting and other clubs commenting on it, right? So that's kind of the ideal spot to play at. So I will say that I would give Arsenal more credit than you're giving them in the sense that I think
Nah.
they had a little bit of a shaky game, probably because they didn't expect us to kind of stick with their game plan. Still, I think we had ended up with high possession, still pretty front-footed. I think we ended up both the same amount of total shots, um, minus their penalty. Well, I think that I don't know if that put them one over or tied, but it was like 13-13, I think. So overall, I still think they did good. They had an unfortunate sub off with Rice. Yes, I think Rice went off like 46 minute. I think there was a couple of calls that we could have. I'm not going to be that fan that just
No,
sticks
no,
onto
but
one point. Being, I don't know. Did you
yeah,
see Nketiah try to take out things legs, Vicario's legs, or no?
eh, no.
I'll show you that. I'll show you that after.
Okay.
But it was a pretty bad challenge. But again, same thing. Like, there's no point of sitting back and complaining like this is why this happened or that happened. It's like, you know what, whatever. They had one own goal. They had one pen. Pen was obviously counted. That was a clear pen, but the own goal is just unfortunate. So I think two lucky goals, but did play, I think, pretty good.
We as Manchester United fans, we would like to complain about that penalty because it wasn't given for us when we played
Yes,
Tottenham
my
at
friend.
London. So these are double standards. So just
Yeah.
Howard Webb and you guys get your shit together. And I'm
Were
sorry
you
for the
guys
bad
home?
language.
Were you guys home for that game?
No, you it was HO Stadium.
No, no, sorry. I'm saying for your game. For your game that the pen wasn't called. Where was
We were
that?
playing against you. It was the same
Okay,
person,
okay. It's the same.
Romeo.
Okay.
Same person. It was just Tottenham. Then this
Okay.
time he got called. But
Yeah.
what I wanted to say, sorry, about why I'm giving Arsenal a lot of stick is because in comparison to the two teams, and even if I'm going to put Manchester United, because right now we have played each other. We have Manchester United has played Arsenal and Tottenham, and we have lost to both of you, which is a true reflection of where we are. And also you have played each other. The reason why I'm saying I'm giving them a lot of stick is between three teams, they are the ones actually who bolstered their squad enough. They bought Declan Rice, the change that they needed. You remember when we said who are going to be the signings that would really define, they got a new goalkeeper. So when you look at and also I would even say Arteta has had more time with the team than Ten Hag or Ange. You
Yes.
understand? So between the three of them, and in these games, both times he has been at home. You understand? He has been at home. He has been at Emirates. We had to travel to Emirates. You guys had to go there. So the expectation was that these are his home games. He's supposed to dominate and win them because the reverse fixtures will not be as easy. You understand? But if we are going to go and dominate the Emirates, then the reverse fixtures, a lot is going to come up because it will be now the other end of the season.
It's more
And
mentality if you get the
yeah,
away win first.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I'm happy for you guys, and let's see how the players. And I'm also happy for Richarlison. He seems to be trying to find his form. Um, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to get it, but I'll tell you right now, I'm loving Son in the more central area. I think he's gotten like 5 goals in 3 games, so he's
Of
definitely
course,
in form right now.
you had to step pad with Burnley because you guys scored like 5 goals against Burnley, and now he's like, oh, son, 5 goals. Yeah, Jesus. No,
Like,
don't get me
hey,
wrong. We
bro,
couldn't score against Burnley.
Did you beat Burnley?
Yes, we did
What was the
1-0.
score? Yeah, 1-0. Yeah, you scraped by.
It
Okay,
was
so
it. Listen, I've discovered games at night are very hard to score high margins. Usually should play during the day.
oh
We can't
god,
see the goal. We
you
can't see the
sound like
goal.
Klopp right now, but just say the
Actually,
wind
that's
speed.
true.
Did it rain that day?
Did you see Klopp's interview about the game, your pre-game,
For this
his
weekend? No, no,
press?
no. I heard
So
a quote, but you
yeah,
go, you go.
yeah, he said that you guys are not playing any European football, so you have a whole week to rest. So you should be. It said it's going to be harder to stay in the top four because Chelsea and Tottenham are not in European football and they get enough time to rest as compared to him who has to go to a small village in Kazakhstan for the Europa. And I was just like, Klopp has started with these excuses because every season you know, he is always playing Europe. So how is that a reason now? But anyway,
I
it's
know.
Klopp.
I get what you're saying that your squad, especially at that level, Liverpool definitely one of the biggest clubs in the world. Like they should have the squad depth to deal with that. That being
Yeah.
said, it is a definite benefit if you're not playing European football, and that's something that why definitely Spurs and Chelsea have that early advantage. I think we even got exited out of the one of the cup games too. I think Carabao Cup. I know how much you love that cup
It's
now.
called the it's called the UEFA Carabao Cup because yours
Okay.
truly are the ones winning. But no, but like just I fully disagree with the notion that if you are not playing in midweek, it's an advantage for you because even Ange spoke about it before your game, and he said when you play midweek games, you actually get a chance to play with in a competitive level as compared to when you just play once on Sunday and then the rest of the week is just training. You understand?
I think it's better for squad rotation. You can play your younger players at something, let's say like a cup tourney early on, you don't really care about. So I like that aspect of it. I think you can tweak some stuff on these side games as well, but all in all, the fatigue factor will kick in certain parts of the year. I think in the beginning it's okay. Obviously, you had a lengthy summer, etc. But it'd be naive and very biased of me to say that there's no benefit of that just because I'm on the other side of the fence right now. So if if it was in a situation where it was the reverse, your team's versing a team that's not and you lose, I think that's the first thing you'd say is like, hey, our players are more fatigued and injured, right? That's like a
Yeah.
easy talk track.
But
So
these are professional footballers. I remember one time last season, Bruno Fernandes said, as a professional footballer growing up, we used to play every 3, 4 games, for 4 days. For me, I really don't buy that excuse that players just only need to play once a week. These people, these are professionals. They are highly. It's not like you and me. We got beer bellies and shit. These guys are. They have quick recovery time after the game. They do warm down. Their muscles. They are meant for this. You understand? These are elite
you're getting
sports
paid to
people.
play consistently and
Exactly.
week in, week out. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you can say to me, "Oh, I need just to go to work once a week, and then that's it. The rest should be just light training sessions." No, bro. Play on Sunday, play on Wednesday, play on Sunday, play on Wednesday, and then they also have these international breaks where some of these guys are chilling. I think a lot we should. These guys they eat. They've got good eating habits. They have good sleeping patterns and everything. They are primed. They are primed for
Not
this.
everyone.
Okay, it's
There's a
Sancho.
Mr. Sancho that plays till 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh my god.
Oh God, we'll get into
Oh my
that
gosh.
later too. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
But anyway, so Northland and Derby, what
So
do you think? Was it a win for you guys?
so I I think a win is a stretch to say because obviously no one likes losing points, but it was a positive result in the fact that we didn't lose. That was the first thing. Is like we're going away, reversing our rivals, reversing someone who should be way more informed. As you
Yeah.
said, the manager had years, literal years on you to set up their team the way that they like, get the big signing. So they had all
Hmm.
the mark boxes ticked. And that being said, they weren't able to get with a draw. And the other thing too is, and I'm sorry to say, but the open play goal thing I think is a genuine point. Did you see Arsenal at all? You're gonna have a little bit more ref advantage if you're playing a home game. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
If you look at the stats, referees are more inclined, especially something like
Exactly.
50-50, are more likely to call in your favor. You do a foul, no yellow card this time. We'll give you extra warning. So all in all, I think that the fact that they had an own goal, which is an error, definitely luck,
True.
and then you had a penalty, which again, you can argue
Still.
would the defender behind Romero blocked or not, or would it even be on target, whatever the case may be. But it's still, if you get a pen, you have at least a 70-75%, if not higher, chance of scoring that. So definitely, I'm not going to say it's not well earned, but it's not the same as getting a game where you carve at the defense like Madison and Sun did. Now, the first goal definitely that was you cannot take that away. The second goal, I will say that the error that Jorginho made, I heard someone
Yeah.
say like at work was like, "Oh, it's what's it called though? You got lucky with that. You got gifted that." I find that kind of BS because how can you be gifted with an
BS.
error if the other team gets an own goal? If you get deflected in your own net, and I'm sure like okay, for example, Maguire, right? There's been own
Yes.
goals that he's had. Okay, is that not a gift? Okay, sure. Like that, I argue if you're gonna argue a handball to a pen is a gift, I'd say that an own goal by your defender is definitely uncalled for. Your keeper is jumping one way to block the ball, defender
Exactly.
knocks the other way. You have
Yeah.
zero chance of stopping that. So I think that's really weird to say one's a gift and not the other. Call it both or none. End of story. And I think it's a positive result. I think it's a little bit of a sad result for them. And to be honest, each team, and this is like a very vivid thing that should be clear by now,
Yeah.
what is Brighton's goal this year? Is it to win the league? What's Aston Villa's goal this year? Is it to win the league? It's not, right? It's like to get a spot in European football, hopefully Champions League. Like Newcastle achieved their target. They went above and beyond, actually, if you think about it, from where they stopped last year. They didn't get Europa, they even got Champions League. That's a definite step in the right direction. And if
Yeah.
you have a new coach like Ange, I think that's the same goal too. Is like maybe honestly, we didn't even make Europa, so I
Yeah.
would think that's a decent Europa, and getting far in a cup would be a decent goal. Like you can fire a coach from that. A good goal would be either get UCL or win a cup. It doesn't matter how small it is, whatever, just anything. So that's
Yeah.
kind of like the goal setting, right?
True.
So I think with Arteta, the standard has to be higher. You cannot say a team that was first place for 80% plus of last season should not have the same standard. Sorry, like, their standard's gonna be different than another team that just got a new coach. Right?
True,
When
true.
Ten Hag started, what, he's had one full season now or what?
Yeah, so just you're saying I was saying when he
Yeah.
started at Man U, he said my goal is to win a cup and qualify for Champions League, and he delivered. Ten Hag, he did, and you're right. Like for you guys, the expectation was also for you to push in Carabao because you don't have a lot of European games, right? But of course, your players decided to go other way. But I think he's focused. Like say, he even said in his press conference before the North London derby, would want to be in Champions League. He wants to be in Champions League. So that is his target. You understand? So that's the target. And I think if he continues on this path, on this trajectory, he's gonna get there. And that would be good actually. That's like a win for you guys to be back in Champions League and
Yeah,
remove Arsenal.
and dude, even just factor in, dude, we lost. Unlike them, they gained Declan Rice, which is arguably one of the best
Mhm.
CDMs, right? Touted in
Yeah.
England. It's like, and we lost Kane, arguably one of the best strikers. Literally, I would say number 2 to Holland, especially last year if you look at stats.
Yep.
And we lost that. That's guaranteed 20 plus goals every season. We lost
Mm.
that, and we're still looking better. Like that in itself is improvement. And if you can't see that, there's you need
Oh, I
help.
wouldn't say you
So
look better. I think to be honest with you, I think you are performing above expectations when we expected. You remember at the beginning of the season, we spoke about which coach is going to get fired first. And I was even saying Ange or Pochettino was going to get fired first
yeah,
between the two because the expectation was Harry Kane is gone. Son at the end of the season wasn't really that good, right? So you have performed above expectation, but I think the improvement we're yet to see it because you still haven't found the striker. Madison was a good buy, was a good purchase, also performing way better than we expected. So I think I feel like when we get to game number 10, when we just get in that grid, I really need to see Tottenham just like ramping it up. I was expecting you guys actually to be really struggling, but you're doing well. So in a way,
it's
you're
too
there.
early. I will say it's too
Yeah.
early. You can't
Mm-hmm.
it just like if we lost the first 4 out of 6 games or whatever. It's the same. You can't be like, oh, you're getting relegated 100%. Like
Yeah.
you can't kind of get carried away with results too early on. So,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's kind of hard to make a real decision until like around December because that's when
Mm-hmm.
you realize you've gone through the majority, if not all the teams, and you're
True.
kind of
True.
now you get a good like sense of like, hey, we're good against this type of team, we're bad against that type of team. But overall, are we doing better or worse? Do we get some lucky results? Right. So you got to factor all that in. And so right now, I'm still not getting carried away. I don't even feel right now confident enough to change my prediction of last year. Like, oh, we're gonna get top for sure now. I'm not even saying that, but I do like what we're seeing so far, and I want to see that trend continue. I have a second kind of comment for this. So
Yes.
now that London kind of talked about, so like definitely I think it's a disappointing result for Arsenal. Do you think, in your honest opinion, Liverpool is now more of a title contender to City than Arsenal, or what do you think? Arsenal's going to come back? I think I already know the answer, but who do you think has the best
Well,
shot of challenging
so
City,
so just to set the
if at
record
all?
straight, yeah. So I don't. I am not really against Arsenal per se, but I think their fans they really get carried away, and sometimes they just ignore obvious facts. And because for me, yes, I love Manchester United. There's also the bias to that, but when I remove my Manchester United, blinkers, and I look at the rest of the league, I think right now Liverpool actually stands a better chance. They are more title contenders than Arsenal because, yeah, first of all, Klopp has been with that team for a long time. He still has the main is like the core of his squad, like with Salah, Alisson at the back, Van Dijk. He still has leaders who have been there, who have won the Champions League, who still have memories of winning the Premier League and the Champions League. These people are proven winners. If you realize the last 3 games, Liverpool has been conceding first and coming back into the second half and just smashing 3 goals. You know, that's the grit. That's the Liverpool. For the past 3 seasons, Liverpool has been haunting me because I'll be celebrating in the 70th minute. I'm like, yeah, Liverpool is struggling. And then it just putting it like Klopp is so good at his substitutions. He's a magician. He puts in Nunes, Diaz, Yota, everybody. When I look at Arsenal, if it's not their first 11, they have no one from the bench that can change the game. They have no one, literally no one. You look at their squad. they've got the Vieiras, they've got Emily Smith
I
Rowe.
think Trossard's pretty good. I
Yeah,
think, yeah, no, I
e-
think a couple, like I know Jesus and Nketiah, I think both are not the striker to be. So I'll give you
yeah.
that.
But those are the first 11, right? Let's say, for example, you're at 70 minutes and the game is still locked at 0-0 or 1-1, right? You need somebody who's going to come and change
Neil
the
Smith
game.
Rowe, I'm actually surprised. He had a really good season. I think
Yeah,
two
but it's
seasons
a long
ago.
time
So
ago.
he fell
Right
off.
now,
I know. For
he
form,
hasn't
yeah,
done anything to the
yeah.
car. But you see, Klopp will be having Darwin Núñez sitting there, and then he just says, "Come over," or
I'm
he can
surprised that
start
he's
you.
not starting. That's actually pretty shocking to me that Nunez
Not
is
because
actually
he
not
has got
starting games.
he has Diaz and Diego Yota, and he has got
That
Salah. Like,
competition he has there is
yeah,
working for him.
it's quite healthy.
And look at their midfield, man. Like they
Exactly.
completely revamped their midfield, and that's a. I'm pretty shocked how fast Liverpool has rebounded, dude. Even I think Trent's not even playing right now, so he
Yes,
doesn't even have Trent. I don't even know if Robertson's playing right now, full
he's
minutes
playing.
or
He's
where
he's
else.
playing. He's playing full minutes. Actually,
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
scored
But
last
just
game.
in
Yeah,
general, I feel like there's been a big changes.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
So so
Sabasala
so
has been doing
so
pretty good
yeah.
too.
So I think Liverpool actually will give City a run for their money as compared to Arsenal, because I think Arteta also, there's this issue about his two goalkeepers, which is quite strange. Having David Raya and
Yeah.
Ramsdale and kind of like interchanging them.
I think he
It was
likes Rhea more. I'm pretty
it
sure
does
he is a favorite. Yeah.
exactly, but then because Ramsdale is British, and you have to please the
Yeah.
British media, he is more inclined to play him. So that's going to mess his thing up. Look, for example, right now,
Mm.
people don't care if you play Onana or whoever is there, just like, yeah, whatever. They're waiting for Onana to make a blunder, right? But if you
Mm.
have got like, imagine if Pickford is the competitor. English media will be up in arms, like,
God,
oh,
Pickford's so overrated, man.
but Pickford is one of the worst goalkeepers that ever existed.
Yeah.
But so I think right now, Klopp, he still is, and also one thing which I want to say about Klopp, he has these young boys he's bringing up who are quite good. They've got this CB, I think he's called Laquan or something like that. So I think he has got the team for it. He doesn't have a lot of games to play. You have all the time to go through the drills, and he will really perfect it. But let's see how he plays this weekend. This weekend is going to be very interesting on our plays because all this time he's been playing small teams like Bournemouth and whatever. Now he's going to get a good test.
Yeah. No, I think
Yeah,
a good test is coming.
yeah,
Um, so I can change gears a bit, but definitely
yeah,
something. So we talked about a little bit of my club. So I do want to change the gears to your club, and maybe not exactly on the pitch, kind of the off the pitch performance.
yeah.
So let's get into this, man. So there's been a lot of talk recently that I've been seeing about Sancho, Ten Hag.
Yes.
I don't know if their bromance has come to an end.
Uh,
Like, what's happening? Do you think it's going to be a January window for Sancho? Do you think he can ask for forgiveness on his knees and get it, or what do you think?
the thing is, I don't know if how much you've been following Manchester United the past 3 seasons or so, when there was Mourinho, and there's at a given point, I think when Ferguson left, most players at Man U started getting what we call player power, whereby players just decide to do what they want.
The fear of
And
the
we
manager wasn't there. Yeah,
exactly. And the board also started supporting the players. They found the players as better assets than the coach. So you had the Paul Pogba's doing whatever they wanted. You had Ronaldo coming in. So when Ten Hag came when he was appointed, he actually saw that the level of discipline, like, or indiscipline per se, was high. And that is the reason why, for example, the first preseason for Ten Hag, Ronaldo didn't come through. He refused to come and train. He was in Portugal, and when he came, he threw tantrums, and Ten Hag had to put his foot down. And the same thing. So you find that when you look at Manchester United players, they're not even the most hardworking idiots. Like literally, they're just dragging their feet. And Sancho, I believe Ten Hag gave him enough time. Last season, he even gave him time to go to Netherlands to go and train and get his head in shape. And during preseason, he was playing him as a false number, and he was actually allowing to make him play. But he was not really coming to the expectations. So when he was asked Ten Hag in the press conference why Sancho was there, because British media always ask about when a British player is not playing, they will ask Ten Hag, Harry Maguire, Sancho, Rashford, Luke Shaw. It's basically the same questions. Why are British players, are they going to play? They don't
of course.
care if Anthony is playing. So when they asked about Sancho, he said, yeah, he's not playing because I don't feel like his level is up to it. It's not like Ten Hag went unprovoked and was like, hey, here's a thing. They asked him the question, he replied.
Of
But
course, yeah,
then
yeah.
everything then was taken out of context. And then of course Sancho, I don't know, being a kid or whatever, he reacted, put a post online, and then he kept it pinned for days or weeks. And then finally, the board decided, okay, we'll take the side of the coach. So then he took it down. But now Ten Hag is just like, I'm not gonna back down because I'm the coach.
Yeah.
I am the coach. You know what? When Pep is doing it, they go like, Pep is a firm coach. Pep sold Cancelo. Cancelo, he just sold him like, well, we don't get along. He first sent him on loan to Bayern, now he sold him to Barcelona. The same thing with Klopp. So I think the coach has the final say. And what Sancho is doing, I don't think there's even a way for him. But when I look at the current squad, the young guys, the Garnachos and everybody, I don't think he can perform to that. He did perform quite well at Borussia Dortmund, but I always say those results are skewed if you're providing assist to Haaland, because Haaland can make your stats look good.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
now he had a chance to try to prove himself, and I feel like he struggled.
I
You
want to
know,
talk about one thing. So I do agree that, as you're mentioning, so manager fear is definitely lowest it's been in quite a while, and I think
yeah,
that was kind of like the Mourinho success. Obviously, Fergie, like no one would basically
exactly.
tell him what to do in the locker room, that type of thing. And the fear, unfortunately, especially in the sports profession, I think does translate to some results because you're going to train a little bit harder. You're going to like, this is what the coach wanted. I'm going to do that. And just one thing that you were saying was that if there's ever a fall between player and coach, Ten Hag getting slapped on the wrist for it, like, oh, why you kind of just accept him, just bring him back, whatever. He's getting more pressure externally for that. But when Pep does it, he kind of gets away scot free. So if he says Cancelo's, oh, you don't want to play? All right, you're gone. Or like
Yeah.
just changing the formation. Oh, Foden's great. I don't care. He's gonna be benched tonight. Like whatever it is, right? The one comment I read that a fan wrote is that although that's kind of hypocritical, like why can you let one person do it, not the other? I would constitute it as like an employee. If you had an employee that would either come to work late or leave a little bit earlier than everyone else, and everyone's like, hey, why are they doing this? But then you find out that like, oh, they're only allowing this because they're the number one salesperson, or like they, maybe work a little bit more in the evening that you don't see, or just whatever the case may be. The one thing is that Pep has produced results, so he's going to get less criticism. At the end of the day, this man just won a treble. If he wanted to completely change, if he wanted to say, you know what, I'm moving to Walker to right wing. Why? Because
True.
I just want to. It's like
True.
you would be a fool to like out like lash it in right away, like article like, hey, Pep does not know what he's doing. It's like, or Pep's lost it. Like you'd have to at least see it. With Ten Hag,
Yes.
unfortunately, you spend that much money for a player that's been ruined for
But
years.
he didn't buy Sancho. Sancho was bought by Ole. Like Ten Hag, it's same thing.
I'm
Ronaldo.
saying
Those
the
are not Ten
board.
Hag
I
people.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
If the board shells out a ton of money for someone, they kind of assume, I think naturally, that the next coach better be able to fit them in their squad, or we sell them for the same, which is very hard to do.
Which is the
Because you have a vision.
mistake. Which
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
mistake because if you remember Fegi, the board didn't buy players for him. He went, he saw Ronaldo, he said, I like that kid, go and buy him tomorrow morning. You
yeah.
understand? So right now, Ten Hag, let me tell you, I know, and I agree with you fully. If you deliver the results, you can say whatever you want. To me, as a Manchester United fan, Ten Hag gave us the Carabao Cup and Champions League. The guy delivered, considering the players that he had last season. He still has Harry Maguire and Lindelof still playing at CB, and he's still
Oh, and
producing
who's the other
something.
guy?
And Johnny
Evans.
Evans,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
These are when he wanted to go and buy Pavard, the board was refusing to give him funds. So sometimes we look at it. Pep, Pep can go and buy any player he wants for any price,
Yeah.
and of course he can. So when you look at Ten Hag, the resources is being given and the results. You see, that's why even I was saying your coach is doing a good job. Look at the results and resources. Is it matching? You understand?
Of
So,
course, yeah.
uh,
That's a good way to
so
put it.
Ten Hag, he's dealing with small boys and he's trying to make sure these are small kids, but he's trying to get a win, try to motivate them, right? But at this point in time, Sancho's not helping himself. Also, he can say, you know what, my bad, coach, I made a mistake. I really focus on my career. I want the best, but he's playing video games in the middle of the night.
Did he want Antony, by the way? Ten
Did
Hag?
you?
Did Ten Hag want Antony? Was that a
Oh
coach signing
yes,
or as a board?
yeah,
So
yeah.
if it
It
was
was
a
it was a
coach,
signing.
out of curiosity, what's your reasoning for like why he's not performing? I just out of curiosity.
Who, Anthony?
Yeah, I don't think he's performing to the level he should. For someone that knows
Well,
the player inside out, and same thing the price tag. Unless you just think that that's
the
just the
price
price
the
these
price
days.
tag the price tag we cannot even, because every time some Manchester United comes looking for a player, the price tag gets doubled. Anthony, no, like seriously, Anthony, I
Dude,
think
there's
is
just
a
Bell Show episode where it's like he wins
yeah.
like the lottery and he goes, "Oh, $20 for the haircut, right?" No, man, that's the old price. It's like what? Like,
No,
yeah,
I think yeah, he's a
yeah.
40 million player. He spent one season. That was his first season in the Premier League. I didn't give him much, a lot of stick, and the position he plays, sometimes he's asked to do more defensive work than more attacking. And many times he has put the ball in the middle. We didn't have a striker. It's only until 2 games ago
So
that we started.
now,
Yeah,
okay.
now we
So
have
you
a
think
striker.
Holland's gonna be?
Oh, he's
You think
good.
he's a good
He's
sign?
good.
Yeah.
He's good
Okay.
signing.
I
And
see
I
your
think,
eyes sparkle when you say
yeah,
that.
nah, nah, I love him.
You see
You
the
know,
future.
no, I saw Holland, I saw Amrabat. Like after season
They
three,
got their
when
Holland. You're gonna get your Holland. That's what you're thinking.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I feel like when Ten Hag now has his first 11, which he signed, at that point in time, I'll be like, no excuses, right? Because right now, Ten Hag, he got Onana, the goalkeeper that he wanted. Fair point. Whatever happens to Onana,
What do you think
that's
of
his
Nana,
pick.
by the way? Out of curiosity,
He's
is
not a good goalkeeper, as a shot like
he
holding it, but
disappointing? Is it too early to say?
um, I think it's both. It's too early, but also at the same time, I don't think he catches the ball like the gear. But I like his ball distribution when we initiate play. So you understand. So like most goalkeepers, they're not forced to do saves because their defense is good. For example, Ederson. How many times does he have to do a save? Because
Yeah.
there's
He's
a
sleeping and then he
he's
can do
sleeping, right?
one or two.
Eh,
Yeah.
And but whenever you get chance to bypass the City defense, you always score against Ederson. Ederson doesn't know how to block, right? But then you find that there are goalkeepers, like for example, who have a very bad defense. So De Gea became celebrated because the defense was rubbish. So every time he had to save the team, save the team. So the thing with what Ten Hag's trying to build, try to block so that Onana doesn't have to do those saves, but he's more like an
So,
initiator.
question.
Yes.
If you could sign De Gea, who's chilling on a free as a free agent right
I'll
now,
never
would
sign him
you?
again.
You'll never
Never.
sign again.
Nah, 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 nah. No.
I've heard some fans say
On
otherwise.
no, no. I'll keep Onana. It's okay. You get his grit, but it's just that we need to stop the attacking team from taking shots at him because I saw bad. Like it even just catching the ball. He's like
Yeah.
I don't think that's his specialty. I think Alisson is the goalkeeper, which I can say is the all-rounder goalkeeper. I think he's
You
good
know what's
at
funny?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly what you said. Anderson doesn't really take shots, and I know what they're
Mm.
both Brazilian, right? I would
Yes.
take Allison any day over um, cities because just if you think about it, who's the one getting more practice? You know what I mean? Like who's
Exactly.
in more inform? You know?
And Alisson is the number one goalkeeper for Brazil, in as much as Ederson is winning the Premier League with
Yeah.
City. They both
And
play in the
Anderson's
Premier
good with
League.
his feet, right? I
Exactly.
see that too, but it's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, you want a
Yeah.
keeper to stop shots first and foremost, right?
Yeah.
That's your main, should be your main goal at least, right?
Yeah. So no, Alisson, I rate him highly. He's the one because he's good with his feet, with his hands. And then I think tomorrow actually that will be the challenge actually to score him. But then if you manage to make Van Dijk get a red card, you guys will be good because Van Dijk is off sorts these days.
I got another thing too for you.
Yes.
If you have anything else, you can jump in now. But
Mm.
I was gonna talk Chelsea. So, dude,
Yeah.
Chelsea just still is not looking good, bro. So it's you scrape by with your result in Burnley. So you guys have a little bit less media attention, I think, right now. So we'll see if you guys
Mm.
can keep that form on. But dude,
Christopher's, you
they are
just beat them.
still. Poch is surprisingly taking questions pretty decently under like pressure, but when do you think that Todd Bowley is gonna like call it a towel? Like, what would it take? How much further for him to throw in the towel on Poch? Do you
Four more
think
games. Game week
4 more
number
games?
10. If he still stays in the bottom five the way he is or whatever in four more games. Yeah,
They're
because
14th right now, I believe, at the time.
yeah, the 14th, but I know it's just like a goal difference thing. Otherwise, they're
Yeah,
tied
yeah,
with
yeah.
something. You
That's
know,
fair. That's fair.
but
They're like one.
I because they have got 4 points, if I'm not mistaken. Was it 5 points? 5 points. They
They're
have 5 points.
hanging around at 5 points. Yes,
And then
5 points.
the teams at the bottom have got
16,
1 point
15
each.
have four. It's Everton, Wolves,
You see
and
exactly.
then Bournemouth three, and then the rest bottom three: Luton Town,
Yeah.
Burnley, Sheffield United,
So
one
so
point.
all it takes is for those ones below them to win a game or draw, and then they just jump Chelsea. Like
Hey, I think Everton's versing Luton Town this week, so you never know.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
City's gonna
but
smash up Wolves. So yeah, just
yeah, so Poch, yeah, I think the era of giving coaches a long I don't know, long leash
Time frame, yeah.
yeah,
Years.
it doesn't exist because imagine if he gets to week number 10 and it's still, at number 15, because Todd will be thinking, I will have all these players playing in Division One. What am I going to do them in the championship because I risk getting relegated here, right? So he would need someone who's going to hit the ground running. But probably if, but I don't. I'm starting to struggle why they're struggling, to be honest with you. Because they haven't even played any big teams right now. Oh, they played Liverpool.
I think that I don't know. It's a chemistry issue, man. Like you jump in, you have all these players on big wages. I don't know. I don't want to argue. Like I haven't seen enough to like speak like this. You kind of have to see the behind the scenes, but like, how much
Yeah,
are they really fighting for the badge versus just getting play time to make themselves known, and maybe they look for like a change, change of venue, etc. So, yeah, to be honest, I feel like they definitely need like another result or a string of results in the next little while. If they don't get at least two wins of the next five, I think I think he's in trouble.
yeah, because
I think
the next game is against Fulham, and Fulham is not easy.
it's not a walk in the park, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
so
Yeah.
so so that. But anyway, I hope. I like Poch, but you guys are going to be.
But what?
You guys is your former coach. Is your former coach.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I know it's a definitely. I think that whenever your past coach goes to like especially a rival club or something, there's a little
Hmm.
bit sting of like you, as much as you like them or you have that like positive, like optics on them, you also don't want to see them be massively successful. Like it just that's the one salt that comes from that rival club. Like
Yeah,
imagine when Van Persie left to go to United. Do you
yeah,
think any Arsenal fans like, oh, good for him? I can't wait for him to win this year. Like you're like, screw that.
yeah. That's true.
So yeah, it's the same type of mentality of just like, if any of what was once yours goes, like, so if Rashford went to Arsenal, let's say the reverse picture,
Ooh,
and they're about to win the league, would you want Arsenal to win? There's no way.
if
There's
Rashford
no
went
way.
to
Yeah.
Arsenal, I would go crazy. No, like I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, there are people I don't think I would want
There'd
to
be
ever
blood on
see
your
at
walls.
Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, there are people I can say I don't mind if they go. Let me try to think who I would mind if I go. Oh yeah, like Harry Maguire goes to Arsenal. I'm like, good for him. Yeah,
Your crocodile tears. You'll be like,
I'm
I'm
like,
so sad, and then behind them.
and I'm like, I hope they don't take Lindelof too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Then we're screwed.
exactly. But
Seal the deal, yeah.
yeah, but I think Rashford or Luke Shaw. I think I wouldn't want them to go to Arsenal.
Hmm.
Um, Funny enough, I think I wouldn't mind Rashford if he goes to Liverpool. Funny enough, I'm like, oh, okay, it's okay. Like Arsenal, it's just personal. but Liverpool is okay. He can go. You know,
Yeah,
he can go.
interesting,
Look at Sterling. Sterling started at Liverpool, went to Man
dude.
City, and is at Chelsea. Like,
He's
how does
had
he do
a
that?
crazy pedigree of teams in the Premier League. I have to say that. Like that, how many players can say that? You know what I mean?
But is it a good thing or a bad thing? Like, actually, we should have an episode about this. Like these players who move. Like, you look at, okay, Ashley Young. Ashley Young was it Aston Villa? He went to Manchester
Chelsea.
United, and then he went to Italy. Came back. He was at Aston Villa again. Then he's at Everton now. You know, but
Yeah,
these
sorry.
players,
Yeah,
yeah,
Everton. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
yeah. So these players, these players who move from club to club,
Yeah.
how do they do it? But yeah, but Sterling, of course, I'm thinking, what's next? Is he gonna go into Manchester United or what, or Arsenal? Yeah,
Dude, I don't know what. Like I think this might be the last year that he has. Sorry, last club. I can't see again. As you said, like unless the wages, like he's very flexible, it's gonna be hard. But it's interesting. How do you call him? I don't know. You can't really call him like. Would you be like prideful with the shirt, like for a kit of Sterling if you went to any of those teams? You know what I mean?
the thing with Sterling is that he cannot be a legend in any of the teams because
That's
he
what I'm
didn't stay
saying.
long enough for to Liverpool to be a
Yeah.
legend. He didn't, in as much as he was very instrumental at Manchester City. We can pick five more 10 players who would be above him, like the likes of
Of course. Yeah.
Aguero,
Yeah.
Silva, KDB.
Yeah.
And then now him being at Chelsea, the other bigger legends before him, no matter what he's gonna do at Chelsea,
Yeah. I agree.
Lampard
So
will be the Chelsea John Terry.
unless exactly, unless you went to like hell, let's say you went to Spurs even or like Aston
Mhm.
Villa or something, and like he did really well. or like Leicester
Yeah,
when they came back or something, and he did really well with them. It's you change the narrative, but I see what you're saying. You have to be the forefront person to, I
exactly.
think, be considered a legend. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, there's nobody's gonna be building a statue for him in any of these clubs. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, no, it's all good, man. I think now I'm back, and to be honest with you, I think we need to do an episode on also the Champions League, which is coming up. I know you don't have a you're not
I know
invested
a
in it
mistake.
because yeah,
Unfortunately, this
you
year,
don't
no
have skin in the
mistake.
game.
We'll
But
see if you have skin in the game next year. We'll just see. So,
well,
unless you, well,
we're
you're gonna
gonna
win it. You're gonna win
we're
it.
gonna win the
So
Champions League, yeah.
that's
So
yeah. You're right. 100%. Not delusional. 100%.
I'm just
So
saying,
Bayern did not just beat you 4-3. They weren't. They're not a problem. So the other team can win. Sorry,
honest assessment,
I had to say
honest assessment. If you guys go to Munich and you score 3 goals, wouldn't you be happy? Because trust me, that was a good performance. Harry Kane had to get a penalty. Of course, the stat padding, penalties.
Yeah, yeah. No, see, I know we're talking about that first 2-2 draw. Like, should it be considered a win? As much as it pains me to admit it, like that loss wasn't as bad of a loss. Like if you did lost like 2-0, 3-0, of course it's like worse. But yeah, I can't lie. 3 goals away. That just shows that you definitely messed up in one way or another, right? Like they shouldn't have been able to score 4 goals, penalty or not.
Yeah,
So I think
Onana was
that's a
doing his
different
rubbish.
conversation. And
Yeah,
Casemiro getting what, a brace? I think your
yes,
CDM can't be getting a brace. Your CDM gets a brace, there's an issue. You know what I mean? There's an issue elsewhere. So I think it's positive in one way and obviously negative in another way. So, but yeah, so we'll see. We'll definitely have another video for the Champions League updates and just in general, like what's trending, what's coming up in the news. So,
yep.
any
All
closing
right.
statements?
So I think this has been our, our chat, our session, our assessment of the week. They're not predictions per se. To be honest, it's like we're looking at the Premier League and the
State
current
of football,
happenings.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think, yeah, this has been also feedback from the fans. So guys, keep giving us the feedback,
Yeah.
on what you guys would like to hear for us to discuss. And the thing about me and Jess is like we can talk football for like the next 5 hours. Like literally this, we can, talk and talk and talk and talk. But we also would want also to hear from you guys what you would want us to talk about. And if you are a fan and you think, you can hold it against, of course, the best Manchester fan or the West Tottenham fan, please tell us. You can come and join us. You can be a guest on our episode and tell us why you think
Yeah.
Arsenal is a good team, or I don't know, Liverpool, or even Luton. I think we need to find a Luton fan or a Sheffield fan. Yeah, exactly, and maybe tell us what's
Dude,
happening.
I would lose it if I found a Luton fan.
And side note before we wrap this up, actually, I think the owner of Sheffield United wrote a message to the fans telling them if they think they know better than him, they should buy the club. Like some
No
crazy. I
way. I did not
oh
see that.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So he wrote like people because the fans
How
are
much is
saying,
a
yeah,
club?
we
Point
can
one
make a
million.
GoFundMe. We can do a GoFundMe and buy.
50 mil? No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. No, they're
So
worth more
actually,
than that.
but actually, I think we
Yeah.
should find a Luton fan and then just you never know. But I would like to see a Luton fan outside of England. Actually, that's gonna be like a major feat.
Oh God, that's
Uh,
like Willy Wonka. Finding
yeah.
finding the
But
golden
anyway,
chocolate bar. Yeah.
yeah. Any last words just before
Yeah,
we
no,
say
I think I
ciao?
like this format a little better. A little bit diving
Mm.
into the one of the bigger topics, a little bit more discussion back and forth. I think the predictions were decent in the sense, like it's nice to at least say, oh, I knew that team was going to win. Like you're actually putting it out on paper versus just arbitrarily saying it afterwards. But I think this is actually important, or just like a good evolution, I guess you could say. Just talking more so about what is kind of trending right now. Is there's always 3 new stories every week, so there's always just something to chat about. So that's that.
Nice. That's all from us this week. So until next time, peace.
All right.
Deuces.
Peace. Ciao.
Ciao.